the two witnesses. If John is one of the two, if John is already dead, he would die twice. You getting this? Moses can't be one of the two witnesses because he would have to die twice. It would have to be someone who has previously escaped death, listen, or had their death postponed or pushed back. Is Yochanan the beloved still alive today? But I don't really care what the church fathers say. I want to know what Yeshua said. Well, we already saw what Yeshua said in Yochanan 10:11, but I want to get more of the word, less reliance on secular history and more reliance on the word. Okay, go with me, please, to Yochanan 21. Is anyone enjoying? Let's try that again. Is anyone enjoying? Yochanan 21. Miriam Gilby is enjoying. That always helps. Yochanan 21 and verse 18. The shepherd knows the voice of the sheep. Amen? Baruch Hashem Yahweh. I'm the under shepherd. He is the great shepherd. Yochanan now speaks to Shimon Kepha. Now going back to Matthew 17, what did Yeshua say? Matthew 16:27. There'll be someone here out of the 12 who will not die until the Ben Adam comes in his Malchut, or he will not die until, not never die. See, that's what you've been hearing. He will not die until, meaning he will die at some point in time. Yochanan will die at some point in time. But someone out of this 12, and then he narrows it down to 3, someone will not die until the actual parousia, or physical return of the Master Yahshua. One of the 12 must prophesy again, and therefore will not die, will die, but won't die, will die, but won't die until. Until means until a specific what? Ordained point in time. Amen? Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Truly, truly, or amen, amen, I say to you, when you were young, Peter, Kepha, you dressed yourself. You walked wherever you desired. You could have gone to Rome, but you didn't. But when you shall be old, you shall stretch forth your hands, and another shall dress you and carry you where you do not want to go. Was this a prophecy? Yes. Was it a prophecy of how Kepha would die? Yes. Do we know how Yaakov died? Yes. The Jewish Talmud tells us that old camel knees was thrown off the pinnacle of the temple, and confirming Maaseh Shlichim, Acts chapter 12. Yeshua said how Kepha would die. He would be bound and carried away in a place where he didn't want to go. Right? So even if Kepha is in Rome, which by the way he's not, he didn't want to go there. Someone carried him there. You want to know who the someone is? The papists. Even if it's true that Peter is buried in St. Peter's Basilica, which it's not. They found his grave in Yerushalayim. It's a fact. Biblical archaeology today found his grave in Yerushalayim. But even so, if you believe Peter was carried away to St. Peter's Basilica, Yeshua said, they'll carry you where you don't want to go. Meaning, he was Jewish, he wasn't the first pope, and they put him somewhere he didn't want to go or didn't belong. Baruch Hashem Yahweh anyway. Amen? Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Verse 19. This Yahshua spoke, listen, signifying by what death Kepha should esteem Yahweh. Circle that word death. So these words of the Master are prophesying how Kepha would die. Good. When Kepha heard this, how he would die, so what was the topic here? In verse 18. If we isolate verse 18, what is the topic? Whose death? Excuse me? I don't know any Peter. Whose death is this? Kepha's death is being prophesied. Will we all agree on that? Very good. Now Kepha goes, well, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. Oh, what about him? You know, I'm Kepha. I'm the big macher. I'm the big one here, the boss. What about him? Okay. He spoke signifying what death Kiva should esteem Yahweh, and when he had spoken this, he said to him, follow me. Meaning, don't worry about the details, and don't even worry about your death. Just follow me. Then Kiva turned around and saw, he saw the Talmud whom Yahshua loved. Who's that? Yochanan the beloved. Kiva turned around and saw Yahshua, and saw the Talmud whom Yahshua loved, who also was the one that leaned on his breast at Pesach, the supper, who said, Master Yah, who is he that betrays you? Who's the one that leaned on Yeshua's breast at Pesach? Yochanan. Who's the first to say, and then followed by all, Master Yah, who is it that is going to betray you? Who is the one that said that? Yochanan. Is there any doubt? Would anybody question this at this point? So the focus of the topic turns from who? From the death of Kiva to the death of Yochanan. It shifts. The conversation now shifts. Yahshua says, Kiva will die, he'll be bound, he'll be taken somewhere and dressed and carried away in a place and in a manner over which he has what? No control. Amen? Then Kiva said, okay, Master, since we're talking about death, what about this one? What about the Talmud who leaned on your breast, the one whom Yeshua loved, meaning the Yochanan, John the beloved? Amen? He said, well, this is the one who said, Master Yah, who is it betrays you? That we know from Yochanan 13 that it was clearly John, Yochanan, who uttered those words. Now, look, verse 21. Kiva, seeing him, said to Yeshua, Master, what about him? What about him what? What clothes does he wear? No. Does he have a girlfriend? What about him? No. What about him? Is he married? No. What about him? What does he do for a living? Is that the topic here? The topic is muerta. La proces de muerta. The process of death. Is not that the topic here? Yeah. Peter is confronted with his own mortality and then turns to Yeshua and says, Master, do you have any prophetic words about this guy? Because I'm a goner. I'm going to die. You picked me out of all these. I'm the one who's the most blessed and the most anointed and the most gifted. And here you are talking about my death. What about Yochanan? So what's the topic? What is the topic? Death. Moreover, more specifically, what is the topic? Yochanan's death. The topic shifts from what? Kiva's demise, right? To Yochanan. Will we all agree with that? Yes. Okay, good. Now look at verse 21. Kiva said to Yeshua, seeing Yochanan said to Yeshua, Master Yah, what about him? Verse 22. Yeshua said, now listen, if I desire that he lives until I come, stop. He never said Yochanan would live forever and never die. He did not say that. That is a false rumor. That is a false rumor that permeated the early church. That Yochanan would never die. And Yeshua had to correct them. You'll see in a minute. He said to Kiva, he said, look, he said, if I desire that he live until I come or the kingdom comes, meaning Yochanan, so what? Kiva, what is that to you? As far as you're concerned, what? You just follow me. So he's saying, if I desire that he lives till I come, what is that to you? That's not your business. Kiva, you know about your death, and now if it's my will for him to live until I come, that's my will. It's not your business. You just follow me. It's not your business. Right? Isn't that what the text says? Are we adding words here? No. Are we eisegeting? No, we're exegeting the text. We're drawing out of the text. We're not adding to the text. Amen? Let's continue. Verse 23. Then the saying went out among the Israelite brothers, this false rumor, listen, when they heard Yeshua's prophecy about Yochanan's death, this false rumor went out among the Israelite brother that the Talmud would not die. Look at me. The rumor, the falsehood is that Yochanan would not die. That's not what Yeshua said. He said that he wouldn't die until the second coming. Yeah. He didn't say he wouldn't die. Let's continue. Then this saying, this false